What's good, Vikings faithful? Skol Nation. It's time to dive into some juicy Minnesota Vikings news that's got us buzzing. Rumor has it our purple and gold might have just snagged an extra draft pick for 2026. And you know we're all about building that future dynasty. Could this be a sneaky move by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to stack our roster? Let's unpack this compensatory pick drama and see what's cooking in Vikings territory. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the NFL's wild draft world. Hit that like button if you're pumped for more Vikings updates. So here's the tea. Nick Corte from Over the Cap, a guru in the NFL salary cap game, dropped a bombshell that the Vikings might be looking at a 7th-round compensatory pick in 2026, on top of the already expected 3rd and 5th for losing Sam Darnold and Cam Robinson. Compensatory picks are like free lottery tickets for teams that lose big-name free agents, and Kwesi's been playing this game like a chess master. But hold up, this 7th-rounder is tied to a lesser-known name, and it's got fans whispering. Who's the guy behind this potential pick, and why is it causing a stir? Before we spill the beans, let's set the stage. The NFL's compensatory formula is a beast, factoring in salary, snap counts, and postseason awards. It's so complex even teams mess it up sometimes. Vikings territory and Purple PTSD have been all over this, hyping up the possibility of extra draft capital. So what do you think, Skol Squad? Are we about to get a sneaky asset? Or is this just draft season smoke? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get into who's making this happen. Alright, let's talk Trent Sherfield Jr. Remember him? This dude was a depth receiver for the Vikings last season, bringing physicality and some clutch blocks. Sherfield wasn't lighting up the stat sheet with 8 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown, but his role was clear. Pave the way for JJ and our run game. The guy was a team player, and now he's taken his talents to Denver on a 2-year, $6 million deal. Not exactly QB money, but in the NFL's eyes, it might be enough to net us that 7th-rounder. Here's where it gets spicy. Nick Corte admitted on social media there's a glitch in his comp pick tracker. Players like Sherfield, Tremon Smith, and Tre'Davious White suddenly popped up as qualifying for picks after June 1st cuts cleared out. That's raised some eyebrows because a $3 million annual salary is right on the bubble for comp pick eligibility. Vikings territory noted this uncertainty, so we're not popping champagne yet. Is Sherfield's deal the key to unlocking this pick, or are we chasing a mirage? Think about it, fans, what's more exciting than extra draft picks? Even a 7th-rounder can unearth gems like Chris Boyd or Jaron Kearse, both late-round Vikings steals. Kwesi's got a knack for finding value, and this could be another feather in his cap. So what's your take? Should we trust the comp pick gods? Or is this too good to be true? Smash that comment section and let's keep the Skol vibes rolling. Now let's zoom out and talk strategy. The Vikings are already locked in for a 3rd and 5th in 2026, thanks to Sam Darnold's megadeal elsewhere and Cam Robinson's move to Houston. Those are big wins, especially since Darnold's departure could net us the highest comp pick possible, per Sporting News. But this Sherfield pick is like finding an extra fry at the bottom of the bag. Small, but oh so satisfying. Kwesi's been a wizard at balancing free agency losses to maximize these picks. The catch is, the NFL's formula is a black box. Corte's own words on X highlight the logjam of players around that $3 million mark, meaning Sherfield's pick isn't a sure thing. Vikings territory's K. Judry pointed out that even Kevin O'Connell hinted at expecting 3 comp picks, so the front office has been eyeing this. But with Corte's bug in the system, are we banking on a glitch, or is this legit? What do you think, Skol Nation? Can Kwesi pull this off? Let's dream a bit. A 7th-round pick could be a developmental corner, a scrappy lineman, or even a special teams ace. Past Vikings 7th-rounders like BZ Johnson and Ifeadi Odenigbo carved out roles. So there's hope. Drop a comment with who you draft with a late pick. This is why we love Vikings news. Every little move could shape our future. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Let's talk about Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the Vikings GM who's playing 4D chess. Despite dropping $296 million on free agents like Will Fries and Jonathan Allen, he's still projected to snag multiple comp picks, per NFL analyst Lance Zierlein. That's next-level roster building, folks. Kwesi's ability to lose players like Darnold and still gain draft capital is why fans are hyping him up on Purple PTSD. But can he really turn Sherfield's modest deal into another asset? The uncertainty around this 7th rounder comes down to the NFL's cutoff for comp picks. Players need to rank in the top 35% of league salaries, and Sherfield's $3 million per year is teetering on the edge. According to over-the-cap, Cortez glitch has muddied the waters, but Vikings territory suggests the Vikings are optimistic. So, Skol Squad, do you trust Kwesi to work his magic, or is this pick a long shot? Hit the comments with your hot takes. This is where it gets fun. Extra picks mean more swings in the draft. Even if it's a 7th, it's a chance to find a diamond in the rough. Think about Jamarcus Sanford, a 7th rounder who became a solid safety for us. Could Sherfield's departure gift us the next unsung hero? Let's hear your predictions, Vikings fans. What position should we target with this pick? Keep the Skol spirit alive and let's dive deeper. Time for a reality check. Compensatory picks are a gamble. The NFL's formula is so tricky that even experts like Corte admit it's a mess. His ex-post about the bug in his tracker shows how fluid this process is. Players like Sherfield can qualify one day and fall off the next. Vikings territory emphasized that the Darnold and Robinson picks are near certainties, but Sherfield's is a maybe at best. That's the NFL draft life, folks. Full of surprises. Kevin O'Connell's comments add some intrigue. He teased 3 high-level comp picks, but Zierlein's analysis suggests we're more likely getting 2 strong ones and maybe this late 7th. Purple PTSD's coverage backs this, noting the Vikings front office has been strategic. So what's the vibe, Skol Nation? Are we hyped for a potential bonus pick? Or should we focus on the sure things? Drop your thoughts below. Here's the kicker. Even if the 7th doesn't pan out, the Vikings are still in great shape for 2026. With a 3rd and 5th already in the bag, Kwesi has ammo to trade up or stockpile talent. Past 7th rounders like Chris Boyd show that late picks can still contribute. What's your dream scenario for our draft haul? Let's keep the conversation going, Vikings fans. Hit that comment section. Let's rewind to Trent Sherfield's time in purple. The guy was a grinder, laying blocks and making the most of his 8 catches. His move to Denver wasn't headline news, but it's exactly the kind of low-key departure that can sneak into the comp pick formula. Vikings territory praised Sherfield's work ethic, and now it might pay off in a new way. Isn't it wild how a role player can impact our draft? The NFL's comp pick rules are brutal. Snap counts and postseason awards matter as much as salary. Sherfield's limited stats might hurt his case, especially with Cortez tool glitching out. Purple PTSD noted that similar players like Tremon Smith are also in this gray zone, making predictions tough. So, Skol Squad, do you think Sherfield's contributions were enough to earn us this pick? Share your vibes in the comments. This is why we're obsessed with Vikings news. Every move has layers. Even if Sherfield's pick falls through, the fact that we're in the conversation shows Kwesi's savvy. A 7th rounder could be a special teamer or a practice squad stash. What's your take on these late-round lottery tickets? Let's keep the Skol fire burning and talk draft strategy. Now, let's look at the big picture. The Vikings' 2026 draft could be loaded, with 5 trades already impacting our picks. Per the Star Tribune, Kwesi's been wheeling and dealing. The Darnold and Robinson comp picks are huge, but this Sherfield chatter adds spice. Vikings territories K. Judry says the front office is all in on maximizing assets. How pumped are you for next year's draft, Skol Nation? The uncertainty around Sherfield's pick highlights how tricky the NFL's system is. Cortez X post about the high variance in outcomes means we're rolling the dice. Sporting News praised Kwesi's free agency moves, but this 7th rounder is no guarantee. What's your gut telling you? Will we snag this extra pick? Or is it a pipe dream? Drop a comment and let's debate. Even if we miss the 7th, the Vikings are set to make noise in 2026. Past late rounders like Ifeadi Odenigbo prove you don't need a high pick to find talent. Who's your dream late round steal for next year? Let's keep the Skol hype alive and brainstorm in the comments. This is why we live for Vikings updates. Let's talk about the NFL's comp pick obsession. It's a game within the game. Teams like the Vikings live for these extra picks to build depth. Kwesi's strategy of letting players like Darnold walk while signing stars like Javon Hargrave has kept us in the comp pick hunt, per Sporting News. But Sherfield's potential pick? That's the cherry on top if it happens. Cortez glitch has fans on edge, and Vikings territory's coverage reminds us to temper expectations. The NFL only awards picks for players who clear a high bar, and Sherfield's $3 million deal is right at the cutoff. Purple PTSD noted that O'Connell's optimism might be a clue, but nothing's certain. So, Skol Squad, are you buying the hype or playing it cool? Hit the comments. This is what makes Vikings news so addictive. Every detail could change our future. A 7th rounder might not scream game changer, but think about Jaron Kearse's impact. What kind of player do you want Kwesi to target with a late pick? Let's keep the Skol energy high and dive into the draft talk. Alright, Vikings faithful, let's wrap this up with some Skol pride. Whether we get this 7th round comp pick or not, the Vikings are building something special for 2026. Kwesi's got us in prime position with those Darnold and Robinson picks, and Vikings territories hyping the team's draft capital. Even a maybe Snyder like Sherfield's pick keeps us dreaming big. What's got you most excited about our future? The NFL's comp pick formula is a roller coaster, and Cortez bug just adds to the chaos. Purple PTSD's K. Judry says the Vikings are playing the long game, but Sherfield's pick is no lock. Let's stay positive. Every pick is a chance to find the next Chris Boyd or Beezy Johnson. Drop a comment with your boldest 2026 prediction. Are we drafting a sleeper star or trading up for a stud? Skol Nation, you're the heart of this channel. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Let's get to 1,000 subs. Share this with your Vikings crew, and check out Vikings territory for the latest updates. Keep the Skol chant loud, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Vikings.